Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
Malika.
Hi, the beautiful Hasinas are here, all three of you. You guys are looking so gorgeous. Thank you so much for this meeting. Okay, so I saw the trailer. It's absolutely beautiful and so fierce for sure. So let's just quickly start by talking about the characters that all three of you are portraying and how relatable was the character for all three of you in real life.
Okay. Pick who you want. Who should start?
I think we'll start with Faiza because her F comes first.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kamal is a very responsible, caring person, but deep down she's lonely and alone and never been loved. Maybe, and of course she fights for the rights of others. Here are so many things that I can relate to. I can even relate to the child that you see once you will watch the play. And of course, I have kids. I can relate to the motherly part of her. And I can relate to Qatil Haseenaon as in I am vocal about women's rights. And that's it.
I don't relate to this character because she was so conniving and manipulative and insecure and very needy and very superficial. But if there's one thing I would try to take from this character is I try to learn to be more sharp, more not manipulative, but Zuvi really handles the situation well, with a lot of taste, with a lot of class, with a lot of skill. So I think I learned some skill sets from Zuvi, how to not be so gullible and vulnerable, and how to manipulate situations to get what she wants. So that was a good tip from her.
Character I'm playing is called Mai Malki, and Mai is like an honorific, respectful title that she has because of her birth. She's the daughter of somebody who's very important in her community, and she carries that legacy on her shoulders. But because of being, having that onus on her to carry the legacy, she is also unable to express her truest feelings. She wants to live up to the legacy. She wants to deliver whatever is expected of her because of her title. But when things start going unexpectedly from her chosen path is when she really comes into her own and she becomes one with her own wishes. Otherwise, she's always lived according to what other people want her to be. So she comes into her own, and then she realizes how she has not always had the, justice on her side always. And she tries to rectify the situation, which I found was it was very enabling and empowering to do that role.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, you are also a women activist in real life. You have been like advocate for women for years now. So you think, Samiya, this question is for you. You think that that particular aspect of yours has resonated really well with this character of yours in Qatil Haseenaon Ke Naam?
Not necessarily my character. I think the entire web series resonates with the people not boxing people, others into positions of being exploited in any way, emotionally, physically, in terms of labor or elsewise. I just felt that this web series gives all the characters in this story the strength to question what they've been born with or been tagged with, or to break some of those molds. So yeah, I think it goes with the feminist or humanist agenda.
Okay. And Sanam, I was there at the trailer launch as well. And I really like that part where you said that you don't want to be remembered for just one role, right? You want to be remembered as Sanam Saeed. Right. So would you like to talk about that a little bit more? Remembered as Sanam Saeed in real life, not just as, not just as one particular character? Like, for instance, you were talking about Zindagi Gulzar hai that time. Yeah.
Yes. Well, because Kashaf's character stuck with me for many, many, many years. It's been 9 years. And for at least 3 or 4 years, that stigma of her character did not leave me. For example, it was hard for people, producers, directors, or any casting directors to cast me in any role that was very opposite to Kashaf, because unke dimag mein main sabki behan ban chuki thi. Sar pe dupatta, plain Jane. There was no sex appeal to me. There was no. They didn't seem to think that I could play any other sassy character. That I always had to play the simple, plain Jane girl coming from a different background. And fighting for women's rights all the time, which is great. It's very empowering, and I'm really grateful to have been given the opportunity to play those roles, so that people look at me as a role model like that. I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything else, but it has been limiting also. And I think my aim was to let people know, particularly people in my industry, not the audience, because audience ko tab pata chalega jab mere apne industry wale mujhe wo mauka denge. So a lot of these roles that I've done were to show or to prove, not to myself, but to my industry people, that I can play any role you give me. That's my job. If I'm not good at something, then I have to work harder at it. But that, as an actor, I will play any role that's given to me, and I want my range of work to be versatile. I want you to believe that I can be a girl from any background, any class, any system, and I want to break those class differences. And some I want to indulge in them. I want you to hate me. I want you to love me. So that's just the beauty of being an actor, and the joy of being an entertainer and a performer.
Okay.
So and roles like this. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
No, and this is going to be my final question, and I really want all three of you to address that, because we have seen Qatil Haseenaon Ke Naam is obviously dealing with the fears and unapologetic women, right? And also dealing with male gaze, right? And also we have seen in the past, like for instance, Churels, that has been really amazing and has done phenomenally well across the globe, right? So for all three of you, to what extent has female roles evolved and moved beyond the stereotype?
I think there hasn't been one trajectory only, or one linear evolution that has been going on. We have so many channels, we have so many web platforms, and other ways of telling stories, that different people are telling them in different ways. There isn't one particular way that others are building on top of. People are doing their own thing in a lot of in different media. So it's difficult to trace that as an evolutionary process.
Okay, and what about you, Sanam?
I mean, I think it's happening universally in all the film and television industries globally. We're just telling different sides of the story. We've moved from rom-coms and, in the West, or from Ghisi Pitti Auraton Ki Kahani over here, or even on Indian media, Saas Bahu ke dramas se. I think with OTT platforms, everyone has been given the opportunity to tell the other side of humans' stories, men and women. There's a lot of crime thrillers being told, a lot of stories of people's, they're going back into the psychology of why and how people behave. They're going into women in uniform. They're telling stories of women out there in the workplace. वो घर के बाहर से निकल के कहानियां बताई जा रही हैं. And so I don't think it's now that Pakistan has evolved. There were always lots of stories to tell, and there was lots of directors and writers who had these stories to tell, but we didn't have the platform to tell these stories. And now because of the internet and over the top OTT platforms, you're not limited by certain whether it's censorship or whatever, the governments or whatever. You're just freer to express yourself, and it's time that people saw these stories.
Okay, and and Faiza, would you like to add something to this? And also, this is the first time a Desi noir story which we are going to see through Qatil Haseenaon Ke Naam on Z5 Global, right? So would you like to talk about it a little bit more? Like what are your expectations from the audience globally? from this particular show and knowledge we have?
I really hope that audience would love it, because when I saw it, when I read the script and while we were doing it, I was really enjoying it. And I'm sure that audience would love it. Please watch it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you, and all the very best for the show.